Good morning and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Australian Ultimate Championships here in the sunny Gold Coast for 2018. My name is Daniel Clinton and I'm joined by the effervescent Katie Locke.
Good morning, everybody, and we're here for a men's quarterfinal between Brisbane Mammoth and Colony Pillage, hailing from Sydney.
Ishan Wekrema, throwaway, first possession, short field for Mammoth, isolated cutter in the lane. And this is a really good spot for them to be. A big high disc, and Xavier Black doing enough. Blakely goes short, middle of the field. Francis, Xavier Black, Wekrema. A big flying bid there. Near side, that's Fan. Fan goes long to Blakely. It's tipped, it falls into the lap. And there's Xavier Black.
Nice, clean, easy catch. And that was just the perfect example of catch your Ds.
Well, it bounced up in the air, and once it was up in the air, it was only ever going to be a Colony disc. Too many players around it.
Do you know much about how these teams have fared so far in their pool games?
Yeah, Mammoth a little bit disappointing with their results. They've had some wins, but they've also had some losses as well. They went down to Colony Plunder, but they've beat everybody else. I-Beam, they defeated 15-12. Melbourne Carnage, which is in the other quarter, they beat 15-11. They stomped Power Lunch 15-6, and they beat Hot Chili 15-13. So they've had a pretty good tournament. They probably wanted a better result against Colony Plunder, however. Pillage, on the other hand, they've really had a mixed bag. They've lost twice. They lost to Fishwick in a major upset, a Universe Point thriller. They lost to, they beat Sublime rather, 15-12. They beat Outbreak 15-9. They beat the Wellington Wildcats 15-11. And then they lost yesterday afternoon to the Melbourne Juggernaut 15-9. And there's a big deep throw going up. Mammoth, possession, receivers down the field, inside out throw. And he walks it in, he showboats it in. They love it, do the Mammoth boys.
Almost too easy there.
Almost way too easy.
Here a nice, clean catch there.
The Hollander, the player catching the goal for Mammoth.
Recently representing Australia at the under-24s on the Blue Bottles mixed team.
He is a unit for an under-24-year-old.
Oh, definitely. He was one of the tree trunks they had on that team.
Tree trunks.
As we called them. Now the Australian team's faring pretty well in their recent campaign over in Perth. Taking two bronzes and a 4th place.
Australia's always struggled to really break into that gold, hasn't it?
When USA is there.
In Canada, in India.
Oh, yes, of course.
Colombia.
Can't write off India.
Japan. So many good countries nowadays.
Oh, definitely. That being said, probably one of the highlights for me in the games was seeing Italy almost upset USA in the men's division.
Now that would have been a huge upset. Wekrema, that shoulder strap, bulky and visible under his shirt. Henry Fan goes inside, Xavier Black. Blakely travels a little, but that's fine. Stall, it's getting high.
Oh.
And an inside play that is Deed and Mammoth go fast. Lensay gets the reset off, and now Mammoth have broken. They have broken Colony Pillage.
Colony walking up slowly to the line. A couple of heads down. They would be frustrated from that early break.
And there's only 5 of them out there. This Colony team, their body language. You see all the Mammoth players. There's a million of them. They're all on the field. Colony Pillage, on the other hand, a little bit disheveled, bedraggled.
Now, Colony, another one of the teams here this weekend who are playing in Cincinnati in July for WAC. Though they have a classic history of going XY with their teams at Australian Ultimate Championships, though.
Well, they can't do that anymore.
No, not in the WAC here.
So this team, this Colony Pillage team, is the team that won't be attending the World Ultimate Championship, Club Championship, later this year in Cincinnati. That is a huge, humongous pool that goes straight up in the air.
That is a pie and a half.
And it might sit in bounds, just out.
That pool definitely goes in the favour of Colony this time.
Well, Wikrema taking his time to walk this up. Leask on the mark. Wikrema comes sideways. And McNaughton nearly gets a piece of that. Mariung is there, he bids, and Francis has caught it. But I think he might be out. Yeah, he puts it on the ground.
Lots of sideline support from the lads, though.
And they are all very, very tall, and we can't see anything.
Especially for me, I'm not the tallest of people. Understatement of the century.
Speaking of not particularly tall people, John McNaughton sporting the neck beard, walking up to the line. And he's going to bring it in for Mammoth.
Is he going to punt it?
There's a big poach off the back here. The underneath is there. McAllister resets back to McNaughton. With sideways throw. And the reset, and quick disc movement, the order of the day. He's looking, and he hucks it, but it's not very good. It goes straight up in the air. I take my words back. It's very good.
That was a spicy throw into a paddock of space.
And that is another break.
Mammoth up 3-1.
I don't know how Trent Thompson got so incredibly free. Oh, it was just a poach. And he's thrown the poach. Trent Thompson finding an acre of space, and Daniel Ryle gets caught. And he looks like a numpty.
Now this Mammoth team is huge. They have 25 players on their roster. That is a big team. It's the sort of size roster you'd send to a Worlds campaign, not just nationals, but they obviously had a deep pool of talent to select from and decided to take many of them.
Which I love. I'm a firm believer that the perfect size for an ultimate team is 24 players. 3 lines and then 3 injury kind of backup people that you can then sub in should you need to.
Yeah, see, meanwhile, I'm a fan of 17. 2 lines and 3 injuries.
Yep. Well, this is Yuang pointing, wanting it. And now Wikrema looks, throws it. Yuang gets bumped a little. Pumps the backhand and then goes inside the mark with the backhand to Rory Connell. Connell misreads it. And it dies in front of his face as he bids.
Gets horizontal anyway, just to be sure.
I think if Connell had run a little bit straighter, he would have been within range of that. Still would have required a pretty good play, but he's definitely capable of it. So here it comes, it's brought in. Mammoth, just on the sideline, receiver going, he's going. Lindsay. Well, what a cut.
That was fantastic. Hometown hero is getting to celebrate, and rightly so. That was a fantastic series of play.
And Sebastian Hardy gets lit on fire. There's smoke on the field. Lindsay has burnt him. He has 5 yards. That is an outstanding deep cut for the score, and another Mammoth break. We'll go to a timeout with the players. We'll have a drink. Pillage, they've got to do something here because Mammoth, they're all over them.
TV.
So McNaughton, disc in hand for the Mammoth defense. Signaling that they are ready. The defense is ready. And they have walked into this game far more prepared than the Colony Pillage offense. Yuang.
That is a huge pull there from McNaughton.
And it nearly got blocked. And it's a Poachy single coverage look. Fan has Xavier Black going out, doesn't throw it. Andrews. Black. Fan. No reset. Wikrema. And a loud sideline. You can hear the Mammoth team helping the defense on the field. High release to Fan. Yuang can't get there. Wikrema play it. Makes the bid, but not the play. And McNaughton walks to the disc.
Will he put another huge punt up or do lots of give go like earlier? Let's see. He thinks about his options.
There's the reset. Thompson, throws it away.
Just a miscommunication there between the dump and the handler.
Well, they had an opportunity there to put another break on the board, and they've given it back. A pick is called. Looks like McNaughton is satisfied for Ryle to keep the disc here. And for this to come in, Ryle looking down the field and looks for Andrews, who makes a bit of a nothing sideways cut. Wekrema gets the reset, working against McIntyre. And there's the rule. You sensed him set. He nearly bid. Peter Blakely goes with a disgusting scuba. That is rightfully deed.
That was a filthy scuba.
It was an inside-out scuba. Now is not the time, Peter Blakely. You don't throw that in a quarterfinal. You don't throw that in a quarterfinal when they've put 3 breaks on you. Mammoth now another opportunity on offense. Poachers everywhere. Pillage completely unaccountable. Brown resets to McNaughton. McIntyre works the power position. Goes with that lefty style. Tries to get the disc back.
Oh, and it goes straight out in front of him.
The big man.
Was ground stripped, unfortunately. Huge bid, though. Huge play.
He stands about 6'5" in the old. He had to go a long way down, and it never looked comfortable.
Just a short delay for equipment.
Wikrama fixing a boot.
Don't want to trip over your shoelaces.
At the moment, Colony Pillage are tripping over the proverbial shoelaces. They have stumbled into this game. They look underprepared to face the fire of Mammoth. Wikrama playing off the poach. Wide throw to Yuang, who goes quick to Xavier Black, who's worked himself into a great spot, and he puts up a pretty good looking throw that floats over McNaughton, and it's brought down by Daniel Ryle.
Colony have finally had an answer back to Mammoth's 3 huge points in a row.
And it's through the hands of the hard-working star, Xavier Black. So hard to cover. Xavier Black works so incredibly hard, and from that hard work he creates an angle, and Daniel Ryle provides the deep cut. Well, 4-2. Pillage finally convert a no point.
Finally have an answer back, but they're going to have to find something else if they want to get on top of this Mammoth team. I think Mammoth are definitely looking like the stronger force to be reckoned with here.
They are up and about at the moment.
And with a huge squad to burn through. They've got a fire in their belly and nothing.
Well, they're just subbing athletes wholesale at the moment. There is not one player out there who played the previous point for Mammoth. And the same actually can be said for Colony Pillage, who have completely subbed their line as well.
Shows a good depth of roster, though, if you're able to really sub through your lines consistently rather than just playing the same stars every time.
That throw. Lachlan Murphy going out, but it is a bullet, and it's completely thrown away.
Nice look, but it just did not sit right for that receiver.
Young Liam Grimmond. He had too many Weet-Bix this morning, and Weet-Bix to that straight past the streaming Laughlin. Defense now, inside throw. Back to the middle, Connell. He will throw it if he has the opportunity, of which there is no opportunity. Hardy, the bidding player, on his ankles.
Huge amount of contact in that contest.
Stacey getting underneath. He nods. He wants something deep. Throws a reset instead. And it's dropped cold. It is dropped stone cold. And oh my God, Grimmond completes a high release forehand of all things. Mammoth on the doorstep. Brown into the end zone. He throws the assist. And Mammoth hold their 0 point.
High release forehand would not be the throw I would be putting out in this win, but he just made it look so easy.
It looked easy, but it never looked good. The disc flying high in the air. Reminiscent of the Alex Britton-Jones high release forehand of yesterday. That was gross as well.
The sneaky BJ throws.
Well, Mammoth 5-2, a great spot at the moment.
They're just going to maintain this lead and they walk straight into semis. The men's competition, just as it was last year, is tightly contested, but there's definitely been less universe point games than there were last year.
We've seen the same story over and again. Teams getting out to an early lead and then holding that lead into time cap or either points cap. And at the moment, it is Mammoth following that script. McNaughton, a pull that will go out of bounds, or will it?
No.
It will not. It is a magical pull, and Wikrema has to work the offense from within his own end zone. Fan goes back to Wikrema. Bit of a poach here from Mammoth. They're poaching, they're switching, they're wanting to create short passes. Francis to Blakely, back to Francis. Black. Xavier Black with a weapon of a forehand that looks like it'll go through for a field goal.
That was a spicy field goal. But unfortunately, that does not count for a real goal out of it. You actually have to catch it.
I can tell you're from Melbourne. Everything's spicy. Lots of exotic food in Melbourne. And you got spice on the brain. Mammoth now have an opportunity. Side stack with an isolated cutter. It is the flavour of the month insofar as an offense. And it is Tivo, Thomas Vo in the lane, getting butt punched by Yuang. He finds the disc. Reset to McNaughton. Thomas Vo goes with fast motion, dominator movement. Looks for McNaughton. And the reset is there. McAllister looks. And he throws it up the line. And Xavier Black, the hard-working star of Colony Pillage,
gets his mitts all over that.
He gets it back.
There was some great direction from the Mammoth throwers there, though, using their arms and hands to indicate where they wanted their cutters to go. Just was unfortunate that Black got his hands on there.
Wikrema, again with a poach in the lane. It's a very soft single coverage. It's a poaching single coverage fan. He's gone close to catching that. He has gone very, very close to catching that.
Oh, he got that. It's just whether it was in bounds.
He's going to put it down. And that's a short fieldage situation.
McNaughton pick out the disc. See if he does something vanilla or something spicy. I'm going to go with spicy.
Oh, and it's dropped.
It's bouncing right out of the hand.
Dropped. Another skill error. Francis with the lefty into Yuang. And Francis again is going to thread the needle for the Colony Pillage hold. 5-3. Mammoth are going to rue their chances there. Another 2 opportunities to score a break and stretch their lead. Pillage, they dodge a bullet.
Can hear them chanting, "That's a hold." They'll be happy with themselves that they didn't lose that point. Particularly with it being so close for Mammoth, they were on the doorstep of the end zone.
Well, Katie, tell me a story while we wait for the next poll.
Tell you a story. Oh, I'm really bad at doing this on command. Have you seen any Callahans this weekend?
Yes.
How many have you seen?
One.
One? Brendan Ashcroft's?
Yeah, it was Brendan Ashcroft, day one.
It was beautiful. Saw it on the coverage. I had a game 2 weeks ago at Division 2 Nationals in Wollongong where I caught a Callahan.
Did you?
I did.
You're
and
amazing.
And then we were playing Rogue, and then they caught a Callahan in the exact same spot to win the game. It was wind trap corner.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to get the upwind throws off. So I just read that one. I'm like, nope, that's mine. Oh shit, that's a goal.
And over your short career, your 4-year Ultimate Frisbee career, how many Callahans?
Two.
Two?
Both at Nationals.
Well, you're doing pretty well then. I reckon I had about 1 in 12 years. Yeah. So you're on good pace there. And
yeah,
I doubt we'll see a Callahan this game, but we might.
I think there was more of them in Wollongong, just kind of the special kind of wind there was.
McCarthy comes near side. And that's McGuckin. McGuckin McCucks it. And it's out.
That was a Mick bullet indeed.
Sam McGuckin. That is probably another one of the great Frisbee names. Right up there, Rainbow Apostle.
Oh, Rainbow. What a legend.
Hannah Monty.
Hannah Monty's a great name to say.
Connell goes out against Spielman, and he's got him, but he has not got the disc. Spielman looking exceedingly thin. He's looking very, very skinny.
Oh.
A big throw by McCarthy. Receiver in space, and he does it easy at the end of the day. Sam McCarthy with an outstanding throw.
It was a huge backhand, faked the forehand, got that separation from his mark, and he punted it.
It is so difficult for the defense at the moment. Both defenses. Seems like these players, they're catching the disc anywhere, and the end zone is within range. It doesn't matter if they're on your brick mark, their brick mark, their end zone, your end zone. They have the reach.
The thing that I often find in switching between men's and women's games is I'll see a throw go up and I'll just think, nah, they're not going to get it. And I forget just the sheer speed that some of these lads have. And I know I wouldn't be able to catch that throw. But boy, oh boy, he had the speed on that.
To a good spot on the field as well. The break side, only one person is ever going to catch it, and he happens to be wearing blue. So, Katie, while we wait for the next poll,
yes,
tell me another story.
Tell you another story. Oh, well, you mentioned Rainbow Apostle.
We almost need a jingle.
Need a jingle. Tell me a story.
No, story time with Katie.
Story time with Katie. Oh, I have terrible stories. Why are you pumping this? Well, I was going to tell you a story. Rainbow Apostle. First time I knew I was going to be meeting her, I was a complete Frisbee noob, and I just ordered like my first pair of Frisbee shorts online from 5 Ultimate. Not a plug, just happened to order them online from them. And I had got rainbow shorts because I thought they were pretty nifty. And I wore my rainbow shorts when I went to go meet Rainbow.
There you go.
She unfortunately not playing this weekend as she did her ACL at SMO last month. So she's on the sideline with Melbourne Phoenix, who I just checked, and they are in the 9v10 game against Bauhaus Elite this afternoon for the women's division. So I'm sure they will be winning the party tonight.
Well, a good tournament for the Melbourne Phoenix. Their run is going to be over very shortly. One more game to decide where they'll finish. These two teams, however, are still fighting for their tournament lives. And Wikrema gets the reset. He comes near side. A nice throw to Blakely, who gets separation at will. Black, Wekrema, and he throws a blading forehand. The reset is there, however. And Wekrema breaks. It's a weapon of a throw to Daniel Ryle. The end zone weapon, finding his space and catching a goal.
Colony managing to hold. Let's see if they can catch up and get a break on Mammoth this time.
Yeah, after a flurry of defensive breaks early, it has been all offense. And it will be back on the Mammoth offense.
A special shout out to Ulti TV for making these live streams possible. We're currently hosting a game on the Ulti TV field. Great lads from South Australia, making Ultimate more accessible for all those around Australia and around the world.
Some of us, we got some ring-ins. We got two from Queensland and one from New South Wales this weekend, helping us out.
I've got to give them the honour of claiming it as a South Australian entity, though.
Well, I've kind of adopted you as an honorary Australian and Melburnian.
I am a Melburnian.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, why not? Why can't we adopt them?
We're just Far East Australians.
Well, we'll take everyone. There's plenty of space here in Australia for everyone.
Not according to the government.
Well, that is a conversation for another day, isn't it?
Let's not get into politics.
Let's steer away from that one.
Mammoth steering the ship here.
Loughlin Murray into the hands of Sebastian Brown. And Mammoth, Permac is free, but the mark is good enough. Brown goes breaking inside. And Brown is engaged.
Oh, what a grab.
It was Grimmin throwing him open. The face mark identified. The throw applied. And there's Grimmin going fast. Permac back to Grimmin. He has been swilly early, has Grimmin. Permac looks for Sebastian. Brown can't find him. Brown comes in front. Big body, big bid. Mammoth now to the open side. And that is too easy.
Brown just punting that one in.
Open side, open receiver, it's too easy. There needs to be more pressure there if Pillage hope to get a turn, to give themselves an opportunity to break and close this lead that Mammoth have managed to build.
They just need to find something special on defense, and we haven't seen that yet. The only real turns we've seen from Mammoth has generally been unforced errors. Now, new segment. What's Daniel's hot take?
Hot take?
Hot take. Give me a hot take.
What's a hot take?
Oh, bless, you're old. A hot take
Don't rub it in.
A hot take is...
Don't pat my head. Grumpy, leave me alone. What's a hot take?
A hot take is an opinion or a call you're going to make that would be hotly contested.
Hotly contested?
Yeah.
Gee.
Yeah, I put you out on a limb.
Gee. Hot take. See, I'm just one walking hot take in that regard. All my opinions are hotly contested. Anything I say, people are like, gee, I don't know.
Well, I've taught you something new. And my hot take is that J-Mac does some real pies for his pulls, but boy, oh boy, they are effective.
Yeah, hang time important. Blakely goes to Wekrema, who catches with pure reflex. Wekrema pumps the big throw, goes back to Blakely, who again is creating separation at will. Andrews back to Blakely. Francis on the break side, it gets covered. Pillage, inside throw to Fan, who goes fast. Wickremmer. He looks downfield, finds Fan. They're on the strong side. They come strong side, and Pillage hold as well. 7-5. It's all left of screen at the moment.
Now Brisbane will surely be able to walk this one into half, but let's see. We could be proven wrong. Score check on the field next to us. Melbourne Carnage up 6-5 over Sublime. Another great men's semi-final. If you're tuning in from home, quarter-final, deciding who goes to semis. If you're tuning in from home, maybe have them open in both tabs. But listen to us because we've got the hot takes and the hot stories.
All right, here's a hot take. Best commentary team in Australia.
Oh, hell yeah.
Maybe even Southern Hemisphere. Maybe even the entire world. How about that? How about that for a hot take?
Oof. That is a very hot take. That's very spicy.
Oh, you kids.
So what happens when you
I get enough from some of the kids in the Ulti TV production team with their memes.
Rex is unimpressed.
See, none of them appreciate a classic sense of humour.
I think Rex is going to have to step up his dad joke game.
Well, there's a pretty good pole. It's outside in. It'll bounce.
And it's going to spin and roll.
Permac to Brown. Brown looks off the open side cut. Instead, goes sideways to Permac. And Brown, the poach of Yuang, stopping a lot of throws down the field. Permac and Brown combining. They're going 3 yards apart, but it's working. Break side. Mammoth. The reset to Permac, who catches between his legs and throws a nice break to Brown. Permac again. Comes open side. That's the skinny Spielman. And he throws with that loopy left-hand side. And that's Branko Jarek with the block. O'Connell. Stacey. An opportunity here, a big and golden opportunity. This could be the goose that lays the golden egg for Pillage and their hopes in this game.
There has been a call downfield, picking the stack.
Well, interestingly, Sam McGuckin on the sideline, gestures up.
Ewing just catching that one just to be safe.
Stacey, outside in.
Ooh, that was huge.
It's well caught, and what a world-class throw that was by Nathan Stacey. Outside in, not much room to throw that into, but it's caught all the same.
Pillage coming in and saying, nope, it's not half-time yet.
It's 7-6 the score. Mammoth's lead is evaporating, and it's melting like an ice cream left in the hot Canberra sun.
Oh, you don't get hot sun in Canberra. What are you talking about?
Oh, well,
Queensland sun.
I was thinking Queensland.
You tried. Gold star.
Sean Reid, a nice cut, and the throw was not to the greatest spot on the field, but it worked out at the end of the day.
Mammoth now having to work upwind to maintain and hold and make sure that they take half comfortably.
Right now, Colony Pillage, they possess the golden goose. This opportunity that they've created for themselves could be invaluable. They bring this game to 7, Katie. Oh, and it is well and truly on.
It's anybody's game at that point.
O'Connell pulls a big backhand, it floats and it sits and is played inbounds. McNaughton with the disc in his own end zone. He pumps the backhand, he's got nothing, and it's picked up off the ground. In fact, it's a turn on the end zone line. O'Connell travels a little, and then a pick is called.
Pillage with a huge opportunity to convert here. Level the scores. Just got to sort out their numerous calls.
Connell brings the disc from behind his back and then throws the open side. And there it is. Hardy in the end zone. Pillage are back in this game, and Brisbane Mammoth are going to rue their chances there. They had a strong lead, and they've given it back to Colony Pillage.
Mammoth really having to take this downwind O point to take half. They're looking a little bit flat as they walk up to the line. Hopefully they can find their...
You sense the energy has gone somewhat out of this Mammoth team.
Has.
They're a little bit deflated. And we have Galaxy Point. Galaxy Point on the LTTV field. It's going viral. 7-all is Galaxy Point. We're going worldwide with it. Make it happen.
Trending. It happen.
Hashtag Galaxy Point. A hashtag still a thing?
Yes.
Okay.
You tried.
See, I just got to make sure that I'm at least a little bit with the time. Or is it Snapchat?
Oh, Snapchat's still alive and well.
Notice that you've been snapping.
I have
snapping
been.
away.
I have been snapping away, keeping friends at home up to date and people all around the tournament and some of my teammates back in Melbourne. And
I was selfied somewhere in there.
yes, you were.
And Mammoth will take possession. McNaughton, he threw that away the last one and he'll want it again. A bump from Spielman puts Rory Connell on the grass, and Spielman goes outside in. It's a good looking throw that is not caught. I thought it was going to happen. And Spielman has not had a game thus far. Sam McGuckin, McTruckin to the end zone.
Spielman recently relocated to Brisbane, playing for Colony in a former life.
Yeah, long time Sydney sider. I can't get over how skinny he looks though. He looks like he's dropped 5 or 6 kilos, often already lean and lean frame. Okay, Colony turn it over cheaply, and McGuckin, Grimmond, high release flick incoming, no, resets to McGuckin. Grimmond, Liam Grimmond, and he resets to Sebastian Brown, probably a safer person with disc in hand than the young Grimmond, but Grimmond throws a really good one to Spielman. And that is half. Brisbane Mammoth take Galaxy Point. And that's half time. We'll have a quick break along with the players. We'll watch some replays and we'll be back very shortly with the conclusion of this game here in the men's quarterfinals.
TV.
Welcome back from half-time. The second half of this men's quarter-final to be played. Colony Pillage down 7-6, but certainly not out. Katie Locke, welcome back.
Hello, hello. Just a quick correction, 8-7.
I knew that.
Half at 8 always.
I knew that.
They see Mammoth coming out here on O. Got a chance to extend that break.
Nice undercut there, strong undercut. A Mammoth. Their offense looks pretty good out of half.
As I was saying earlier, they've got a huge squad, so plenty of fresh legs to go around.
Yeah, Thomas Vo looking good as well out there. McNaughton, a swilly throw that was always going to end in a block. Oh, and a foul on the throw would actually explain why that throw looks so horrible.
Yeah, so definitely an uncharacteristic throw there. These Mammoth lads have been putting out some solid swirl today.
Some more than others. Liam Grimmond, we're looking in your direction, young man.
Hey, we don't name and shame here.
What are you kidding about? Yeah, we do.
I'm just kidding. And the play will go back.
The blowtorch gets turned on anyone who finds themselves in the crosshairs, especially if they put themselves in the crosshairs by throwing dirty high-release flicks. On a nice throw, Tim McAllister reaches out and touches somebody. Thomas Vo working in space. Bump on the mark by Stacey. The reset. And there he goes.
And
Mammoth.
Those were some completely clean throws. No dirty high releases there.
Well, the high release, it was dirty. It was effective, but it was dirty.
As long as it gets the job done, right?
Well, that is right. And it's only bad if it doesn't work. As long as it comes off.
High risk, high reward.
I think a better way of putting it would be feast or famine.
Or that. Mammoth now extending their lead up to 9-7. Trying to get back to where they were earlier in the game.
As they were up the break early, however. Second half, they received the ball to start, so they're 0 point. And now we're back into the game. Colony will receive the ball on the next one and have to go on offense. If you ever get the opportunity, do check out Robert de Hollander's magnificent beard. That is an awesome amount of facial hair. It's nicely grown in it as well. None of this straggly business. Oh, and now Mammoth come flying down the field. Fan back to Wickremmer. And it's this poaching man from Mammoth that created problems. And a humongous skill error is going to hand Mammoth a short field situation. Permack will pick up the disc for Mammoth. And he will throw it inside. It's too easy. That's McGuckin scoring the break for Mammoth.
That is a one-punch score. All you need sometimes.
It's too McGuckin easy for McGuckin.
Oh.
You can have so much fun with his name. And he's an awesome name. One of the best. One of the best.
Gotta have a good name.
Suppose that's where I went wrong. My name is pretty weird and not very good.
Mine's just very English.
And you're a Kiwi, go figure.
I have English heritage.
Well, you're white, so I kind of guessed. It was Caucasian, there's not much variety there. It's either English or Germanic.
Yes. So especially in the good old land of New Zealand, a little less cultural diversity, particularly within the white folk there. At least I learned a little bit of my Indigenous language, though.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So you know some Maori.
I do know some Te Reo Māori. You learn a little in school.
That's amazing. They teach various Aboriginal languages here in Australia. Adnyamatna is one taught in the north of South Australia, one of the local languages.
Very good. Back to the game, though.
Wikrema, Francis. Wikrema again. Mammoth playing pretty good defense. The stall is increasing. The poach on Xavier Black. I'm not sure that's a good idea. You can't let Black work his way in. Francis with a bit of a walk. Andrews still resets to Wikrema with a floating backhand that allows him to run it in. And Andrews gets turned around, a misread. It was a pretty good throw from Wikrema.
That just went straight over the head of Andrews there, though. David Andrews, is he any relation of Rob Andrews?
I believe so.
Little brother?
I believe so.
There you go. Frisbee's just so small, you just make that assumption.
Yeah, family members, often the way in which people have found their way in, or significant others.
Yes, as was the case for me. And many others.
Yeah. And as often is the case, oh, here's a hike. The Hollander's got caught underneath it, though. Francis in good spot. The Hollander collects Francis. No call, no play. Wikrema picks it up and gets the Colony Pillage offense moving. Andrews underneath. Blakely, again, separation at will. Wikrema working down the field. Far sideline. And a big swilly huck that nobody gets.
That was swirl and a half right there.
There was no clear option, no clear receiver that Wikrema was trying to hit there. It looked more like a throw and hope. Oh, and a high release flick from John McNaughton. Again, more disgusting throws from the Mammoth team. Thomas Vo down low. Brown palms it. John McNaughton is face marked. He does get the reset. The stall had to be high there. And there's a huck to this sideline. That's Murraying.
Oh.
And he's scored a ripper. Past the bidding Wikrema. Oh, in the battle roll.
That is huge. Wikrema had no chance on that.
Oh, and he looked so incredibly relaxed. He never really panicked. And Murray, he just did everything. He just did all he needed to. He never looked like he was struggling. He looked confident from the moment the disc was in the air that he had it covered, and he'd get to it.
Appears as though a timeout has now been called, though.
As we see a replay, and Murray Eng, not a worry in the world, and the drum roll to finish. Is that the drum roll, or is he taping his wrist? I don't know what that celebration is, I'm sorry.
Beyond me either.
Well, you're the resident meme master and young person.
I'll take that title. That's what happens when you have teenagers in your club. They teach you the ways. They keep you hip and young and stuff.
What if you were never hip and young?
It's your own fault. You're too old, retire.
I did. Speaking of retirements.
Where are you going with that?
I don't know, I got lost for a moment. Pillage, they're down a lot of players.
They are.
There's not many boys out there.
No, they're definitely looking the skinnier squad of the two. We're getting a recreation of the drum roll wrist wrap celebration. We may have to do a sideline quiz to find out what exactly that represents.
I don't know. you seen a good celebration this weekend? What's your favourite celebration
Oh,
that you've seen?
I've obviously haven't physically been here until today, but I saw a really good one from Melbourne Juggernaut from
Tony?
Yep, TCAS.
Tony Castriano?
Yep.
The Floss?
The Floss. I saw it in GIF format.
Oh, it's been gift.
It's been gift. It's been gift.
That is outstanding.
The good old heads of state group has been flying with that. Here it is. I have the gift ready.
Oh, what a pull there, Callan Spielman. It's going to force Pillage back in their own end zone. And Yueng has now got to get it moving for the boys from Sydney. A low throw. It's gathered in by Hardy. He comes far side. Daniel Ryle resets. Hart. Oh, he's thrown it away, has Ryle. We see it again. Oh, and Grimond goes fast. He goes quick. And he throws it sideways. Permac to Spielman. High release in the end zone. Mammoth are officially on a roll.
Spielman with the beautiful, graceful leap and clap catch there. He knew that was his. He did it with style.
And that makes it 12-7. The hairy beasts from the dinosaur age are maybe booking their semi-final berth. And for those that are interested, we'll do our best to share the GIF of Tony Castriano on the Alti TV Facebook page. Make sure you make your way over there, like the page. You'll be the first to know of any streams, any action that's happening in the world of Ultimate Frisbee, should we be covering it.
Now, shout out to the Alti TV editing team for putting up daily highlight reels. So much action, those videos are getting almost too long. There's just too much good play happening.
Well, the boys are fairly brutal already with what gets in and what doesn't. They may have to. Thomas Vo resets, goes with dominator movement. The switch is called. Wickremmer moves on to John McNaughton. And then a very flat hammer. Thomas Vo in the area, and he walks it in, Mammoth.
That is a textbook hammer there from John McNaughton, showing why he is one of Brisbane's best ultimate players. Just punches that one right in. Colony v Colony final.
And a good sign for the health of Ultimate in Australia. Mammoth going from strength to strength. And are looking very, very strong in this game. Interesting from the Colony Pillage. Haven't really seen much out of their young stars. Gus McDonald has been quiet. Young Butler, non-existent. They'll need to start to play a little bit bigger of a role, I think, if Pillage are going to get it back in this. They need the fire. Blakely, as per usual, separation whenever he wants. There's the undercut. Ryle, he's looked good despite the throwaways and the drop. A pick call in the stack. So play stops for a moment. Just sorting out what the stall is on. And Callan Spielman will tap the disc in. Mammoth will continue to play defense and try and get another turn. It's an upwind point at the moment. Blakely gets a nice inside throw from Ryle, and then Blakely throws it back to Ryle. Yueng to the corner. He draws a lot of attention. Xavier Black gets cut off by Yueng. Yueng, the reset. He looks. He wants the dad backhand, and he gets it to Blakely, who creates separation whenever he wants. He is like a god out there. He creates what he wants when he wants it. And there is no stopping. Katie Locke.
Hello.
Tell us a joke.
Oh, you're putting me on the spot. We have old mate Cron popping by to say hello. I'll make Crotters the joke. That's the punchline.
Kieran Hudson, of course, coach, or one of the coaches for the Melbourne Phoenix ladies.
Indeed.
Great servant of the Heads of State Club.
Did deviate to Colony one time. As well as they played with Roo Boys Div 2 Nationals this year.
Which explains why he's not on the field this weekend.
No.
So Mammoth on offense. John McNaughton getting the bump from Butler. Butler exceedingly physical. We saw it yesterday as he put hits on everyone, it seemed. McIntyre still. De Hollander gets covered by Connell. And John McNaughton with power position into a good spot on the field. Gus McDonald with a big bid. And he's done enough, has young McDonald. He has generated a turn for Pillage. That's what they wanted. And then McDonald goes the other way. He's got a thrower in him. And McDonald has an acre of space. But it is blocked.
McDonald unable to get those bookends at this point.
Miles McCullum making up enough ground to cover the throw, get the block, preserve the Mammoth offense.
Mammoth are just really stepping up another gear in this half, showing that they're the dominant force. And I wonder if the fact that Colony has not gone XY this year is part of the reason why they've not managed to be dominant with both their teams.
Yeah, Plunder has looked good, but Pillage less than. And now Mammoth back on offense. They went the length of the field before McDonald generated a block, and there's a drop from John McNaughton. Stacey goes fast, wanting to isolate the cutter, and he can't do it. And another drop, Hardy.
It's a turn-heavy point, this one.
They're dropping it. Both teams are dropping it. The Hollander covered well again by O'Connell, who's playing strong defense at the moment. McIntyre, the lefty to the near side. The ins, the outs, they're all covered. Pillage playing great defense. Branko nearly covers McIntyre on the reset. Dominator movement, power position, strong side cuts. They're not coming though, Pillage. Oh, Branko gets sent the wrong way, and McIntyre has free arms.
That was a great grab.
And Mammoth, they are close. They need to get it off this sideline though. McNaughton might provide what they need. He has the throwing chops. Can he make the good decision? He throws open side. And Mammoth take it to 14-8. And if they score next, it is all over Red Riding Hood.
Game done. Yeah, it's definitely going to be a game to 15, this one. No doubts about that. Earlier when we were talking about hot takes, I was thinking in my head, oh, should I do a hot take on what the final score was? De Hollander up close, we can see that glorious bear that you've been telling us about.
You'll have to check out the Oz Ultimate media page for more images of the De Hollander beard. Glorious. Absolutely glorious.
Hard to see from afar due to its lightness, but it is glorious indeed. He's just shaking his head.
It's a case of the curtain matching the drapes. De Hollander, fair in complexion and red in hair colour. Well, there's the pole. Fan on the full to Wekrema. And Wekrema works. Xavier Black, who's been so good. And you almost feel bad for Black because based upon his performance alone, he deserves semis, even if his team doesn't necessarily make it. Oh, and there is just another cheap throwaway Mammoth. Mammoth for their semi-finals.
Are they going to punch this one in? Let's see.
Murphy. And there's Grimmond. Grimmond to the break side. Blakely preserves Pillage. There's life yet.
That was a huge layout deep in there from Blakely.
So Pillage, they've got to go the length of the field. They've already gone 20 yards. A very short handoff. to reset the stall fan underneath. Brisbane have clapped on some sort of clam. Blakely, after the massive bid, throws short. Andrews back to Blakely. And he goes inside out, and the bid doesn't do enough. That's Bryle in the end zone. Pillage, hold.
Only just.
Through some Peter Blakely physicality and athleticism. One of the fastest men in Australian Ultimate, and he needed every microsecond of speed to make that layout D. He is rewarded with another point at least.
At least, but Mammoth coming out on offense now, and they're just being handed their ticket to the semis, but doesn't mean that they can just walk straight in. They have to...
Well, they're penciled in, aren't they?
Yeah, they're penciled in.
They just got to grab a pen and sign their name.
Make it final.
It's do or die time. The life of Colony Pillage is what they're playing for. They've got 4 points to do. What a game it has been.
It has. Pillage will have to score the next 6 points in a row if they want to book their ticket to semis, though. It's a tough ask. It's not impossible, but it's tough.
Exceedingly tough. I'm not sure about this line call from Colony Pillage. Both their explosive young players, Butler and McDonald, off the field. I personally would think that you'd want those big explosive players out there to make a big block, get horizontal, get off the feet, make something happen. But it's going to be on the players that are on the field for Pillage and Mammoth. They have the offensive initiative and possession of the disc. And lastly, they've got 60 or 55 metres to travel. Robert de Hollander has thrown it away. The reset, Hardy to O'Connell. Far side to Reed. The trap is on. The inside out break. Stacey, and he throws a hammer to O'Connell. There is a pick in the stack, however. It will remain as a goal. Colony Pillage hit double digits.
You thought that it wasn't going to happen, but proved you wrong.
Well, in recent points, the Brisbane Mammoth offense has looked shaky.
Are they choking? Who knows?
Oh, if they choke here and they lose this match, it would be the choke of the century to be up so much. They have 5 opportunities. 5 opportunities to win this game. You'd have to think, if they believe they are a top-tier team in Australia, they will convert at least one of those 5.
100%.
Here's a hot take. If Mammoth don't convert one of these 5 opportunities, they are a mid-tier team at best.
Hundy P. There's another youth term for you.
What's that?
Hundy P.
What's a Hundy P?
100%.
Okay.
Shout out to Steph Sphere for teaching me that one.
Oh, God.
Keeping me young.
It's another language. This is not what I was taught in school. This is not the English that I scored 86% on in my high school exam. O'Connell, a disc that will go outside in. He doesn't have the McNaughton magic, but he does enough with it to keep it in bounds. Permac, they're going downwind now, are Mammoth. Spielman as the cutter out of the stack. McGuckin goes out and is covered by Blakely. Here's Grimmond, and he throws a very interesting backhand, very fast. And Mammoth, they reach for Callan Spielman, who takes them to the semis. They have done it. They have finished this game. They have converted one of the 5. And indeed, they converted the first. They are a top-tier team, are the Brisbane Mammoth. And they relegate Colony Pillage to the 8-5 bracket.
Callan Spielman just showing his wealth of experience with that excellent one-handed grab. Let's get a replay on that. Look at that. Just great read, great athleticism. He could have left that a little bit longer, but he wanted to pluck it out of the air to be sure.
Well, Callan Spillman, a special player. He's always been a special player, and what a story. The old Colony man stabs the dagger through the heart of Colony Pillage, pushes them in the coffin, and says, "You're done, boys. You can go home."
It's Brisbane's time to shine.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our coverage of this match. We'll be back with more. We've got 2 games yet to go in this day. We look forward to seeing you again. On behalf of Katie Locke and myself, Daniel Clinton, we look forward to seeing you in the next match.
Alti.tv